Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 14 whacks. When she saw that she had done it, she gave her father 14
Thank you, creepy child. Hello, my name is Keith, and I'm from Lion's Den Theatre. As you may or may not know, this fall, September 2020, we will be debuting our dramatic reading of the complete Lizzie Borden Trial Transcript from 1893. In the meantime, we'll be releasing some short videos giving some background information into this iconic case. If you want to stay current with what we're dropping, please take a millisecond and subscribe here at our YouTube channel. So, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. The origin of this rhyme is somewhat suspect. Some suggest it was written by a journalist in order to sell some newspapers, where others say it's just one of those organic things that slowly took shape around the streets of Fall River, until it entered the public consciousness like any other nursery rhyme or fairy tale. Lizzie Borden historian Stephanie Corey has a really great article at lizzieandrewborden.com that suggests the poem was fully formed in 1893 and may have actually been sung or recited by locals to taunt Lizzie Borden while she sat in her jail cell in Taunton, Massachusetts. The song eventually settled as a popular skipping rhyme, sung to the tune of Ta-ra-ra boom die in school grounds and parks across the continent. But not unlike Ring Around the Rosie, the vast majority of its cheery young singers were unaware of its dark origin. For those of you who look to skipping rhymes as your sole source of knowledge, you'll be disappointed to learn that much of the rhyme is not historically accurate. Yeah, go figure. First and foremost, an axe was not the murder weapon. Well, technically it was an axe, but the murder weapon was more likely a hatchet. While the hatchet was tragically an effective weapon, and it is in the greater axe family, the imagery evoked by a small hatchet is far less terrifying than that of a 3-foot-long axe. Abby Borden was actually Lizzie Borden's stepmother. Now, in many families this doesn't matter, but Lizzie herself made the distinction very clear on several occasions. And the nature of their relationship is very much germane as to why some people believe the crime happened. But of course, stepmother doesn't fit into the rhythmic meter of the poem. The version of the poem I remember hearing as a child, Lizzie gave her mother 20 whacks rather than 40. 20 is slightly more accurate, as Mrs. Borden was hit between 17 and 20 times, not 40. When she saw what she had done. That line is more of a transitional phrase that links the two crimes. That being said, it implies that the murder of Andrew Borden may have been something of an immediate reaction to the murder of Abby Borden. The evidence doesn't support this. Firstly, the murders happened well over an hour apart, and Lizzie, if she was the culprit, had actually had at least one conversation with her father between the time Abby Borden was killed and the time Andrew Borden was murdered. It's possible that Abby was a target and Andrew was killed because he returned home from town earlier than expected, but that's just pure conjecture at this point. But the death of Andrew Borden was in no way a mere knee-jerk reaction to that of Abby Borden's death. Andrew Borden as well did not receive 41 whacks. As a matter of fact, he was hit fewer times than Abby, having been hit 11 or 12 times. I saved the big one for last. According to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Lizzie Borden didn't do it. Yeah, she was found not guilty. In the eyes of the law, Lizzie Borden is no more guilty of these murders than you are, or I am, or your dog is. Now, whether you agree with that conclusion or not, it's not really important. Because in theory, in societal law, we're supposed to accept the fact that Lizzie didn't do a thing, and was entitled to live the remainder of her days free from any premonition of guilt. But that's theory. In truth, we know that Lizzie Borden was not accepted into the polite Fall River society after her acquittal. And while she had periods of social interaction, she pretty much lived a reclusive lifestyle. She also most likely heard this rhyme many times over the course of her lifetime. Many children are said to have stood outside her house and sang it as they dared each other to go knock on her door, treating Lizzie as if she was their own local Boo Radley. Like Boo Radley, however, there are a number of children who knew her as this sweet old lady who was ready to meet youngsters with a big smile and free pieces of candy. Like so much of the Lizzie Borden case, the poem has found itself ensconced in American folklore alongside the likes of Paul Bunyan. But unlike Paul Bunyan, Lizzie Borden was an actual person. And perhaps, more importantly, so were Andrew and Abby Borden, the victims. It's highly unlikely, though not impossible, that the truth of the Borden murders will ever be fully known. That being said, we have at our fingertips a wealth of information to bring us as close to the truth as possible these 130-some years later. And in many ways, the best of all the sources are the original court transcripts. In the coming weeks, we at Lions Den Theatre will be releasing a complete dramatic reading of the full transcript, with actors voicing the various judges, lawyers, and witnesses. Our hopes are that it entertains, educates, and inspires listeners to further delve into the case, and to contribute time or money or support to those individuals and groups that continue to investigate this iconic crime tale. There will be some more short videos like this one released prior to our dive into the transcript. And if this interests you, please take a millisecond and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and to spread the word to anyone you think might be interested in the subject matter, or feel free to check out some of our other videos, such as one of our recently produced audio dramas. And we very much look forward to this ambitious yet educational, enlightening, and entertaining project. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe.